guys, it's your girl Kizzy Diamond. We are here with Afrovibes TV, and welcome to our very first episode of Diamond Talk, where we come together with me and my girls to talk about the real spill and what's really happening. Before we get into it, I need you to pause and follow me on Instagram, Kizzy Diamond. Kizzy Diamond on Instagram. Click the link in the bio and register for the Baddie Collective newsletter. That is who is sponsoring today's episode. Let's get into the tea. But before we get started, I have two of my very, very best friends in the building who you will get to know because you don't have any choice rocking with me, okay? To the right, we have Miss Lovely Portia, okay? And over here to my left, we have Miss Anaya Benjamin. Yes, period. Big Naya. And I'm going to give them a quick second just to introduce themselves so you can get familiar, and then we're going to get right into it. All right, let's go ahead and start with Miss Portia.
Like she said, I am Portia. I am a mental health therapist here in Houston from Corpus Christi, Texas. Shout out to CCTX. And I am more than honored to be on Afrovibes TV. It's a great opportunity, but mostly I am excited to talk because one thing I love to do is talk. I love hearing myself talk, and I love it most when I know what I'm talking about. And one of the things that I'm well versed at is talking to my girls about what makes us tick, what makes us ick, what we love, the things we want to do, and talk about our goals. And that's what we're going to be doing here today. Has a lot to do with the fact that we're rolling into a new year. So,
yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Miss P. Let's go over to Miss Naya. Go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Naya, Big Naya, not the little Naya. I am a kindergarten teacher, first year kindergarten teacher. Clock it.
Hello.
I am originally from Jersey. You know, I've been in Texas for 2 years, and I'm loving the vibes already. You know, I ain't got a good introduction, but you know, I got a lot to say about this year.
Okay, yeah. I think we really all do. So
it's been a lot going on. So without further ado, the trials and tribulation package.
No, for real. And God, do not sign me up for that for 2025. Thank you. Period. Put me on the blessed and highly favored and serving and all those things, honey, because we are tired. But first things first, before we get into any other topic, because there's a lot of things that we need to talk about, we're going to first talk about ourselves, because it doesn't really matter what else we try to address if we don't address the biggest thing in the room, which is how we are looking at ourselves, how we are treating ourselves, what we are doing for ourselves, how are we managing ourselves, and everything of that nature, okay? So as Portia said, she is an LPC, okay?
Hello.
If you don't know what that is, go figure it out. License. First of all, we are all educated, very educated, Black women, across the board. So no, we may talk our mess, but understand the intelligence is there behind it. So don't ever get that twisted, okay?
Yeah.
So as we're going into self, me personally, I know I have a lot of self-reflection, and I have done a lot of reflection, especially in the past couple months. We don't stop and think about what we are truly doing to hinder, help, elevate, or hold ourselves back.
Yeah.
All right. So accountability is the very, very first thing I want to make sure that we are all looking at going into 2025. Okay. But I know Miss Portia definitely has some things that we need to be talking about and looking at that we may not see in plain sight. So that's why I brought her here to get our wheels turning. So go ahead, girl. Tell us what we need to do.
So first of all, the biggest thing that you just said was how we're holding ourselves back. So what we don't consider, to me, as women, we do a lot of pouring, we do a lot of nurturing, we do a lot of helping, we do a lot of building. And our favorite thing to do, and I don't know if y'all know, shameless, name drop, Shira 7 is my girl. And honestly, I'm no Barbara. I'm no Barbara the Builder. So a lot of times we want to build people up and fix them, right? But we don't turn around and give ourselves that same treatment. So my thing is, what I'm leaving in 2024 is self-disservice. One of the things that may seem small that I considered is that this year, 2025, I'm going to honor myself by giving myself time. And that means that I'm going to be an adult and go to bed on time. I'm going to give myself time to sleep. I'm going to give myself easy mornings, waking up on time so that I have smooth mornings, because it sets the tone for the day.
Yes.
And it really affects how you process your goals and aspirations. You could become unmotivated when you're tired and sleep deprived, or when you're not eating breakfast. Honoring myself by showing up for myself, making your bed. Those kinds of activities really they influence how you process information. It changes your perspective, reframes negative mindsets, all those things. When you're pouring into yourself, taking care of yourself, you feel taken care of. The problem is we're always looking for someone else to take care of us, when
We're not
we
doing
are
that.
the source.
When we're the
And we're not
source.
doing that no more.
Nope.
Yeah.
We're not doing it.
Where
I'm
we
not
leaving
having
that?
it in 2024.
Leaving in 2024. And there's
And not in the hands of somebody's dusty son.
Hello.
Okay.
We're definitely leaving that in 2024 because one thing I'm realizing that there's a lot of beautiful women who only are motivated at the thought of elevating somebody else.
Man.
And I'm holding a mirror up to myself because Kizzy does
Hello.
that all the time.
Yes.
I find motivation in seeing where you lack or seeing where you are hurting, and I completely throw myself into that person. And when I do
We
that,
are givers.
yes. And
Can I just say, you know what that is?
What's that? Oh, we finna read.
It's okay, so it can really just be avoidance. When we have a project to work on, we don't have to work on our own shit. So.
But here's the thing, talking like specifically about me, you know me, I'm always foot to the pavement. I always have something to do. I have something. So I feel like it was kind of a distraction because I was tired of doing everything. Like I've been running and hustling and doing businesses for years and years and years.
But when were you taking care of yourself?
Exactly. So I was trying to take care of somebody else and try to fill that void. And in that, I made the unhealthy standard of what I give to you, you're automatically going to give to me.
Right.
But we have to understand people have free will. People have free will. So they will not care about what you do. They will hurt you and they will care about themselves.
And usually it's about themselves.
Usually it's about themselves. For sure. You had some, because girl.
Naya boo.
Go ahead, because you already know you had an experience with this too, girl. Speak your truth. We had girls' night. We ain't worried about them people.
You know, I just feel like I'm tired of being nice. You know, I'm tired of being caring to others who don't care about me.
Hello.
For example, I've been here. I'm not from Texas, so when you are living with your significant other, and your significant other decides to kick you to the curb, it's like you don't give a fuck about my feelings. Where am I gonna go? I don't have no family here. And it's like I took care of you when you were at your lowest, but you didn't take care of me when I was at my lowest. And I feel like in 2025, I'm gonna be selfish because at this point I feel like I'm giving too much away and I'm not receiving what I need to receive. So I'm gonna be selfish in 2025 to certain people, not everybody, but
because you don't.
Let me just be clear.
Yeah.
Selfishness is necessary.
It is.
If you give everything away, what do you have left?
What do you have?
Nothing. You don't have nothing left.
Yeah.
And that's where we make our mistake. I'm gonna melt myself down into liquid form, and I'm gonna pour myself into this person. And when I pour myself into this person, they gonna love me.
And they're not gonna leave me.
They gonna pull out a straw.
Respect me.
They gonna pull out a straw and they gonna suck it dry.
Hello.
Because you gave
they win, they gonna
boundaries.
Be like, bye.
And that's what they do. And someone told me yesterday, and she was like, "Man, I would never say this on air." And I said, "Understand, because can't nobody whoop me. So I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. As a woman, especially when you are established and you have worked hard for what you have, you can absolutely be the rib and be the magnifying factor for a man, because that is what we're supposed to be. But you will not take over the role of raising him, and you will not.
Right, we leaving that.
You will absolutely not take away from yourself.
We ain't got no kids
to motivate somebody else to build themselves up.
First of all, you gotta have your shit together.
I saw a post. It said, "You gotta trust that an adult can manage their own emotions."
Oh my God.
I said, child.
But what was the key word? A what?
An adult. But look, that's the gag. I don't have to determine what adult is for you.
Yeah.
All I know is that you've grown. So whether or not you are emotionally intelligent, whether or not you are smart, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with me.
You and your feelings,
nothing.
You're going to go handle those on your own. You're going to manage those on your own, because me trying to manage your emotions is draining me. And now I'm not being served, and this ain't a give and take. And like, no, now you're a liability, and I'm cool. I'm leaving liabilities in 2024. Assets only. Someone to get money when I take it from me. Yeah. Right. That's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
We're not doing that no more. We're not doing that no more.
And that's not to say like, yes, we are giving the narrative up to be selfish, right? But it's difference between being selfish and being a bad person, and being selfish and making sure that you are keeping yourself up.
Let's reframe it. Instead of selfishness, we're going to self-preservation.
Yes. Where you meet somebody, that's where you meet them. You can only go up with that person.
You're bringing me down.
If
what you bringing to
what are you bringing me down for?
Ladies, I'm already up.
Ladies,
why
do not give men no. Let me rephrase, because that's rude. However, wherever you are, give yourself the honor of meeting someone at least where you are or further along than you.
Correct.
And with that, we are going to take a quick 1-2.
Quick two.
And we'll be right back.
We'll be back.
Cheers.
Welcome back to Diamond Talk, okay, on Afrovibes TV. We had to take a little commercial break because we needed to get that manyan. Yes, we had to get paid, but we are back. Okay, clear the truth, something. Yes, we're back. We're back. And as we said before we left, we are talking about all the things we are not taking with us from 2024 into 2025. All right. And we left off on the topic of self-reflection and self-awareness. Okay. Well, actually, no, we started off with self-awareness, but now we're going to go into self-reflection tips. Okay. Because we have to understand, no matter the situation we are in, we had some type of involvement in it.
Man.
And if we keep avoiding accountability, what's that word again? Accountability. We keep avoiding that, baby. Anything that you're going through is never going to change. It's going to be that repeat cycle that you hate to see coming, but will keep coming. All right. So the hot topic I think we all want to talk about is relationships. Right?
Absolutely.
But not what somebody else done to us.
Right.
What have we done? What did you do? What did you do? What did we all do? All right.
Honey.
So we're going to go ahead and segue into that. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and turn back into my personal therapist for real, because I'm going to call her.
No, for real. LCP.
LPC. ABC. Yeah.
MS. LPC.
What?
Period.
Yeah. You know? So let's go ahead. We're going to turn that conversation over because you're going to lead us and get us right.
Okay. So she says self-awareness and self-reflection. Now, in order to be aware of self, you have to reflect. So when do you sit with yourself and you're like, you know what?
What am I doing wrong?
You probably... You didn't have to spaz. You didn't have to pour bleach on that man.
Bash him up.
You didn't have to do him. You didn't have to
smack the glasses off his face.
You didn't have to do that.
No, we're not condoning. We do not condone violence. But disclaimer, we do not condone violence. However, are you aware that you are a part of the problem, even in the smallest way? So, little self-disclosure, I'm just now learning my toxic traits because I'm in a relationship that is fairly new. Maybe 2 years we've been together now.
Okay.
And the first year is us like getting to know each other, working through the kinks. Second year is like, you know, that meme with the two Spider-Mans. And you're like, oh, snap. Like, yeah, I can see you. I can see you too. You're exposed. You're vulnerable. And so now all those things that come to the surface when you get comfortable in a relationship, that's what's happening. I'm finding that I can be, and it's just bizarre to me, that I can be a bit much.
You didn't know that?
What? It's not a real thing.
That's not a real thing?
However,
we're practicing illusion.
It's literally affected my relationship to the point that, like, my poor partner, she has to, like, it's not that deep. And I don't like to hear it's not that deep because that triggers me to feel like, don't minimize my feelings.
Okay.
It's like, girl, you're a lunatic. Yeah. So I have to, when I'm by myself and all the dust settles and I'm off my manic cycle, I say, P, it wasn't that deep. Oh, it wasn't that deep. So now the job is to like go to my partner and be like, okay, so look, the other day when I had spazzed, I shouldn't have done that. I could have responded better. I could have this, I could have that. Here's what I can do moving forward. And we make a pact on how we're going to move forward. And I can say that has saved my life. But man, looking in the mirror sucks.
Looking in the mirror is something that
0 out of
really
10, highly recommend though.
It really takes a lot out of you because no one ever wants to be seen as like
the bad person
or the antagonist or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And we're talking about self-reflection. So I'm going to dig into myself, even though I hate it.
Man.
But I'm going to dig into myself because one thing in my past relationship that I did not like to hear is that, man, I want to apologize to you, but your reaction threw me off.
Ooh.
And that used to piss me off because I'm like, there wouldn't be a reaction without your dumbass action. But it doesn't matter how that person acts, because in my reaction, I now can't tell you about how you affected me, because now the spotlight is on how I handled it. And I'm the type of person, if you hurt me, I have an unhealthy relationship with pain.
Yeah.
If you hurt me, my immediate goal, because I'm devastated. Again, I'm a pourer, I'm a giver, I do all these things. Once you hurt me, my immediate flaw is to make you feel what I felt. So I'm going to dig in deep, and I'm going to find a cut, and I'm going to get some salt and rub it in there, because how dare you hurt the person that has been nothing but loving and caring. Yeah. But they can never fully understand what they have done to you if you crash out every time, or if you yell every time, or you shut down, and I don't even want to hear it. And one thing about me, I'm gonna leave a conversation. But I feel like that is my coping mechanism to not violate you.
Right, but there's a responsibility though to alter like that reaction.
Exactly. And that's why I can say,
if you approach conflict with hostility, now y'all fighting each other, and it's not y'all against
nobody's
the problem.
really looking at
nobody's growing,
nobody's looking at what actually happening.
Or if I spaz on you, now you can use that against me.
Yep. And the real
issue is sitting over there in the corner. It's sitting over there in the corner watching y'all fight.
Yeah, because it's like you did this thing, but it's like, dang, you acted like that. So like now we're not even talking about and then it just leads to more invalidation, because now we're fixing how you felt about my reaction instead of what
literally
actually happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I can't control what you do, but I can control how I respond. Yeah. So just because you're being an asshole doesn't mean I have to approach you with that. What I can do though is, the key to communication for me is like to acknowledge that, hey, I don't have the capacity to respond to that kind of hostility. If that's the way you want to communicate, I need you to cool down before I could communicate with you, because I just feel like I just feel defensive. Yeah. I don't want to speak to you this way. Now, don't use that as manipulation, like to make people shut up. But when you really want to get somewhere with somebody in a conversation, say, hey, I can communicate with you like this. I can't like this. So if we can both like respect each other and talk with low tones, and don't criticize each other. And there's a technique for that. They're called the 4 horsemen in communication. Ooh, right? If y'all know anything about the Bible and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, then y'all will understand what the 4 horsemen are. In the Bible, the 4 horsemen bring news of famine and like disease. They bring devastation. And so the 4 horsemen that kill communication are criticism, stonewalling, when you're talking to the person and they're like, oh, I ain't hearing you. And just mind you, to be ignored is a form of emotional abuse. Tell your friends, tell your sisters, tell your cousins, tell your family about that. That's real. There's also, turning away. Like if someone makes a bid for communication or affection and you're just like, oh no, I don't want to, you know what I mean? That constant rejection causes resentment. So then when you're ready to talk to them, it's more conflict because now I'm not ready. And it just creates this cycle. Like you want to be mindful of how you're communicating. You want to be mindful. Where you moving from? Am I mad when I talk to? Because if you go to your partner and you pissy, like
it's already bad.
Check yourself.
Communication not even the problem. It's comprehension.
Yeah,
we can talk all day, every day.
Problem. Yeah,
but if you ain't comprehending what I'm saying, what's the point of talking to you?
Yeah, like it's annoying too.
Like that's the problem.
So I'm hearing you say that, right? So there's no comprehension. How have you saw that, like your reaction to that has been negative, and how do you want to turn that into a positive moving forward? Because I know we got that real bad. We Leos and
y'all a lot of shit real bad.
I'm just saying, we no, bitch, I'm gonna tell you because you're Scorpio ass.
Okay, first of all,
I feel like it's hard to relate to something that hasn't happened to you. For example, some people suffer from depression and stuff. I can't comprehend that because I never dealt with depression.
Yeah.
So you have to.
Oh, you a little bitch.
No. Okay. Hey, I love that for you.
You have to baby step me into your world so I can better understand you.
But listen to that. There's intention in that statement. You said you have to baby step me into your world. You didn't say like, you need to be patient with me. You said, let me into your world and help me understand.
So you're open to understanding.
You're open to understanding. If the person on the other side of that though is not willing to do that, be vulnerable or be open. And let me just explain to y'all, like, you don't have to break your back trying to make somebody understand you. You gotta know when to fold them, and that's another thing I'm leaving in 2024, bro. Staying too long.
Oh my god!
Somewhere it's a 3-6. It's a rule.
Go ahead, tell me a 369. Tell me a 369 because you might be into somebody.
First of all,
I can't wait to hear
it. If we have interest,
but it's valid.
We talking, right? Men know when they have the one. First of all, we should not be in the talking stage 6+ months. No.
You got 90 days. It's like
you have 3 months.
You have 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Men know within those 3 months they want to be with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we in that dating. I'm only talking to you. You only talking to me.
Okay.
Yeah. 6 months come around. You need to figure out. All right, when are you going to be my girlfriend?
Yeah.
A year. You need to be planning a ring.
Yeah.
Then next year you're proposing. We're not being dating boyfriend girlfriend for 10+ years.
Absolutely
I don't know how y'all do it. I'm sorry,
can I throw a flag though in the middle of there too? Like somewhere around there, you have and I'm not even gonna put this on just men because women do this too.
It's about us.
You're right. It's about us. But I feel if you are dating somebody and you know you're not really feeling them like that, let me know. Find stability. Tell them when you feel it because you're taking their choices, and I'm real big on being left with my choices. And if you finagle me, if you bamboozle me into being with you for 6 months, and you knew 3 months ago that you didn't want me like that, I have devoted this time.
That's such a
you were pretending, and I wasn't.
And
it's usually because they like what you offer to them, and they don't want to talk themselves out of that goodness. But we have the responsibility to get the fuck.
And
as soon as you know, because you know, we be knowing, we
know, women know.
But it's like trying too hard. It's so hard.
Man, can we get it together? One thing I put on Threads the other day, and a lot of people liked it. Have we not hurt each other enough?
No, for real.
Think about it. Like, have we not hurt each other enough? And that stems from a lot of different sports coming into one thing. That's friendships, relationships, family, and everything else. But since we're on the topic of relationships, we have to understand, we know that the society we're in is fucked off. We know that. Social media, everything around, everyone feels like they have access to so much.
It's like, oh my god, is the new norm,
and it's crazy. It's all an illusion. Access, just because you message somebody on Instagram, don't mean you talk to them yesterday. You haven't seen them. You haven't heard their voice.
Somebody say, "They don't want you, boo." They don't want you.
It's a false sense of access, and all that access makes people feel entitled. That's why you got people just running off at the mouth, and people comment some stuff. I can't believe what I'm reading, but it's how social media creates this false sense of access and closeness. There's no real closeness on the
internet.
There's
not, and I hate that. And I know you take a lot of breaks from social media. Man, I'm learning from you. I've taken a lot of breaks from social media. Yeah, but it's just hard when you're running and functioning a business and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is hard.
But I realize in places of trauma and things like that, social media will bring a lot of hurt to your front door without you even looking at it.
Because while on TikTok, For You page is relationships, and I just broke up with my man.
And I just broke up with my man, and now you out here doing some shit for it that you ain't never did for me when you was a broke.
It's the algorithm. It's the algorithm.
Make it make sense. It's like make it make sense. And let's talk about that as well. If you are not healed, if you're saying to everybody, I need time for myself, take that time for yourself and leave these men and leave these women alone.
No,
please. Be with self. Heal. Be with self.
Don't bring your past trauma to your new relationship.
And don't give a false narrative that you're wanting to create something with somebody when we know that you are looking for something just to fill your space and time because you're not trying to look at yourself.
Man, what we were talking about that earlier. I said, you really got to be a safe space for yourself because a lot of us don't want to be alone because when we get alone, we're not a safe space.
That mirror be reading the hell out of you.
Beating on ourselves, talking down on ourselves, comparing ourselves to other people. So when we get alone, it gets too loud. Our insecurities get too loud. So we look for somebody to latch on to. And I'm here to tell you, y'all really need to sit in that. Feel it, let it move through you so that you can heal from it. You don't know how to deal with it until you go through it. And then you convince yourself that you are not strong enough to do it because you keep avoiding it. And so I'm telling you right now, invite the pain, honey. Work through the pain. Come on the other side of it. Call your girls so they can heal you up. Watch your favorite movie. Take a hot bath. Rub some essential oils on the back of your head. Do something for you.
Even like, don't block your blessing. Because what if you're in your healing journey and a man comes along? That could be your future husband.
But there's a way to navigate that. There's a way to navigate that.
Discernment. Talk to the Lord.
Yeah.
Talk to God.
And understand that you have to hear yourself.
Yeah.
And one thing that is something that I'm taking with me into my next phase of life, 2025, next relationship, next everything else. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Dang. One thing I'm going to do is make sure I'm intentional in everything that I'm thinking. Period. But check this out. Thank you guys for tuning in today. If you loved hearing us run our mouth and talk about things that we know that you needed to hear, okay, make sure that you catch our next episode next week here on Afrovibes TV. Woo! In the meantime, follow me on Instagram, Kizzy Diamond. Send me a DM. Let me know what you felt. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you want to talk about.
Yeah, give us some
Let us know. And we want to thank you for our sponsor, the Baddie Collective. Woo. Thank you so much. Again, subscribe to our newsletter. We have some amazing things dropping tomorrow, which will be New Year's Eve. Yep. Y'all have a good one. See y'all later from Diamond Talk.